Have you ever wondered why some people achieve success after a series of failures while others don't? This question might have crossed your mind at some point, and the answer to it is not as complex as you may think. When we think about failure, we often perceive it as an end, a wall we've hit that we can't overcome. Our society has conditioned us to view failure as a negative outcome, a sign of weakness, or a measure of our incompetence. But what if I told you that this perception is not entirely accurate? What if failure, instead of being an end, is just the beginning of a journey that leads to success? Yes, you heard it right. Failure can indeed be a stepping stone to success, but only if we embrace it correctly. It's not the failure itself that determines our future, but how we react to it, how we learn from it, and how we use it to fuel our determination to succeed. Now I know what you're thinking, that's easier said than done. And you're absolutely right, embracing failure is not easy. It requires a shift in mindset, a change in perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a setback, we need to see it as an opportunity. An opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. Every time we fail, we gain invaluable insights about what doesn't work. And this knowledge propels us closer to finding what does. Failure is not a dead end, it's a detour, a redirection, a course correction towards a path that leads to success. But this notion of embracing failure doesn't mean we should aim to fail. It means that when we do encounter failure, we should not let it deter us. We should not let it define us. Instead, we should use it as a stepping stone, as an impetus to push forward and achieve our goals. But don't just take my word for it, let's dive into some real-life examples. Consider the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. His journey to success was anything but smooth. For the majority of his life, he was just an ordinary man, grappling with extraordinary challenges. His journey began in the backwoods of Kentucky, where poverty and hardships were his constant companions. Sanders worked a multitude of jobs, from a farmhand to a steamboat pilot, and even a service station operator. He was a jack of all trades, master of none. But one thing he was particularly good at was cooking. His fried chicken was loved by the locals, but alas, his small business couldn't withstand the construction of a new highway that diverted potential customers away. His restaurant failed, leaving him broke at the age of 65. But did he give up? Not a chance. Sanders was resilient, and he had a secret weapon, his secret recipe. He believed in the potential of his finger-licking good chicken. He packed his car with a pressure cooker and his special blend of 11 herbs and spices and hit the road. He knocked on the doors of hundreds of restaurants, cooking batches of chicken on the spot to convince restaurant owners to sell his recipe. Many doors were slammed in his face. But Sanders was not deterred. With every rejection, he learned something new. He refined his sales pitch, tweaked his recipe, and kept going. And after 1,009 rejections, he finally got his first yes. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, Kentucky Fried Chicken is a global brand with over 23,000 locations worldwide. Sanders turned his life around at an age when most people would be thinking about retirement. His story is a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief that it's never too late to start again. So, the next time you enjoy a KFC meal, remember the story behind it. Colonel Sanders' journey is a reminder that failure is not the end, but rather, a stepping stone to success. Or take the journey of Arianna Huffington, the co-founder of the Huffington Post. Born in Athens, Greece, Arianna moved to the UK at the age of 16 to study at Cambridge University. A deep-seated passion for writing led her to pen her first book, a retelling of the Greek myths, which was rejected by 36 publishers. Yes, you heard that right, 36. To say this was a setback would be an understatement. It was a blow that might have made many abandon their dreams, but not Arianna. She took it as an opportunity to reassess and refocus her efforts. She realized that success was not about avoiding failure, but about learning from it, growing from it, and moving forward. She continued to write, to create, and to innovate. She went on to become a renowned author, syndicated columnist, and eventually a co-founder of one of the most influential online news outlets, the Huffington Post. And guess what? She didn't stop there. After selling the Huffington Post to AOL for a staggering $315 million, she launched Thrive Global, a company dedicated to ending the stress and burnout epidemic by offering companies and individuals sustainable, science-based solutions. Her journey is a testament to the fact that failure is not the opposite of success. It's an integral part of it. Arianna Huffington herself said, "Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success." She took the pain of rejection, the sting of failure, and transformed it into motivation, into drive. She used it as a stepping stone to reach heights she might never have achieved had she not faced that initial failure. Her story is a powerful reminder that a single failure doesn't define your entire journey. It's about how you respond to that failure, how you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. And in doing so, you might just find that failure is not an end, but a beginning. A beginning of a journey that leads to success beyond your wildest dreams. So, what do these stories tell us? They tell us that failure isn't the end, rather it's the beginning of a new chapter. It's a stepping stone towards the pinnacle of success, a lesson in disguise. Take for instance Colonel Sanders. He was rejected a staggering 1,009 times before his recipe was accepted, but did he throw in the towel? No. He embraced each failure as a learning opportunity, a chance to refine his recipe and presentation until he finally struck gold with Kentucky Fried Chicken. Similarly, Arianna Huffington faced numerous rejections before she found success. Her second book was rejected by 36 publishers, but she learned from each rejection, each failure. She used those lessons to fuel her ambition, to drive her forward. And look where that got her. She's the founder of one of the most popular news sites in the world, the Huffington Post. What do these two stories have in common? Resilience, persistence, the ability to learn from mistakes and failures. These are the true keys to success. It's important to understand that failure isn't a sign of incompetence, but rather a part of the journey to success. It's a teacher, a guide showing us what doesn't work so we can find what does. It's about turning setbacks into comebacks, about turning trials into triumphs. You see, when we embrace failure, we open up a world of possibilities. We learn, we grow, we become better, we become more resilient, more persistent, and ultimately, more successful. So, the next time you face a setback, don't be disheartened. Don't see it as a roadblock, but as a detour leading you to a better path. Embrace it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Because each time you rise, you're one step closer to achieving your dreams. So, are you ready to embrace failure? We've journeyed together through some remarkable stories. We've seen the grit and determination of Colonel Sanders, who despite being rejected 1,000 times, didn't let failure deter him. Instead, he used it as a stepping stone to create an empire known as Kentucky Fried Chicken. We've also walked alongside Arianna Huffington, who faced numerous rejections and failures, but instead of succumbing to them, she rose, founded the Huffington Post, and changed the digital media landscape forever. These stories are not just tales of success, but they are testaments to the transformative power of failure. They are proof that failure is not a sign of incapability, but rather a symbol of courage, resilience, and the audacity to dream big. They show us that failure is not the end of the road, but rather a detour towards a more fulfilling path. But how can we apply this to our own lives? Let's start by changing our perspective on failure. Instead of viewing it as a setback, let's see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better versions of ourselves. Let's remember that every failure brings us one step closer to success. It's all about perspective. Just like Colonel Sanders, let's not be deterred by the number of rejections we face. Just like Arianna Huffington, let's not let failure define us. Instead, let's use it as a stepping stone towards our success. Let's embrace failure, not fear it. Perhaps you've been knocked down, rejected, or failed at something recently. But remember, this is not the end of your story. In fact, it's just the beginning of a journey towards success. A journey that is paved with failures, but also with growth, resilience, and triumphs. So, let's start this journey together. Let's embrace failure and use it as our stepping stone towards success. And if you found this video inspiring, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Remember, failure is not the end, but the beginning of your success story.